Sef Alchemist here. Today, I'm going to talk about numerology. Numerology is something very important that anyone on a spiritual journey needs to understand, because if you can decipher numerology, you can start deciphering some messages that come from the universe. The universe is all interconnected, and when you reveal the veil of the 3D reality, this veil that we see around us, if you remove it, the universe is made up of geometry. Hence why sacred geometry. The universe is geometric. And geometry is another interpretation of numbers as well. So if you have the ability of seeing beyond the physical reality throughout your meditations or any other practice or in your dreams, you know that you're going to start seeing colors that don't make sense, geometries, beautiful geometries, and even numbers, because this is the fabric of the universe. The fabric of the universe is geometric. We have also the golden ratio or the golden mean. Nature is made up of the golden ratio of pi or phi. Even our human bodies follow that golden ratio. And that golden ratio is a number, 3.14, etc., etc. But it can have a geometric interpretation as well. That's why in many people's meditations, including myself, and it's actually one of the first things I started to see when I had my awakening, was geometries. When my third eye opened, I started to see geometries everywhere, and especially in my meditations, I saw triangles everywhere, hexagrams, pentagrams, and for many people who have access to the realm of the unseen, they can see that too. And numbers are connected to geometry. So numbers, numerology, geometry is the fabric of the universe. It's what makes up the universe. But we don't see it because of this veil that makes us see things as objects, as physical things that we can touch, right? But the truth of the matter is that there's only atoms that are forming this fabric that I can touch. It's just atoms. And these atoms, they vibrate very fast to the point that they solidify matter. So the matter seems solid because of the vibration. But if you were to remove that vibration, that agitation from the universe, you know what's going to happen? Everything will just dissipate. Everything will just disappear instantaneously. The only thing that's keeping the universe solid as how we perceive it is the vibration, the constant vibration. And this vibration is so fast that we can't see it with our physical eyes. That's why things seem to be solid, but they're actually vibrating very fast. Everything you see around you. And if that vibration disappears even for 1 second, everything just disappears. It dissipates. And that's why when you start accessing these realms, which some may call as superpowers, you start controlling the vibration of the atoms. That's why there are people who can teleport or people who can disappear at will. It's because they can, that vibration that makes everything dense, they can stop it, they can control it. And by stopping it, you disappear. But then you can reappear somewhere else. You stop that vibration here, but then you take it there. So it means you disappear here and then you reappear over there. That's what Jesus was able to do. The Buddha was able to do this too. Because with hard work and meditation and consistency and working on yourself for years and years, some get to the point where they access that unseen energy that allows you to control matter. And that energy that allows you to control matter, that geometric energy, which is also numbers, it's there, it's everywhere. It's everywhere while I'm speaking right now. It's everywhere while you're watching me right now. It's just, how do you access it? How do you, this veil, how do you lift it? How do you remove it in order to see the fabric? It's like, think about it. It's like removing the carcass or the shell of a computer so you can see what's inside the computer, the hardware. And when you can see the hardware, you start controlling the hardware. Or the same as software. For the software, it's programs. So you have a software that's making your YouTube run, but behind that YouTube skin that allows you to see the video and comments, behind it, it's just program. It's a written program. And if you can access that program, you can control anything inside of it. So you can control anything within YouTube. So the same way it works for technology, because as above, so below, it works for the fabric of the universe. And some people who were sages and wise humans were able to access this beyond. And when you access this beyond, you can start shaping reality at your will. That's why for humans, even if you don't have that level to access that reality at that level, you can do it just 10%, 5%, 20%, but it's better than nothing. Hence why we have this thing about law of attraction and manifestation and all of this new age stuff that everyone is talking about, because that's how it works. Because when you meditate or use a sigil or use a ritual or a tarot reading and you focus your energy on that thing that you want in your life or that what you want to attain, you are shifting the reality, but just a little bit, because you don't have full access to the unknown. You don't have full access to what the Hindus called Akash or Akasha. In Hinduism, they call it Akash. If you have access to the Akash, fully access to it, you can control anything you want. You become God. Not God-like, you become God. So that's why these meditations and these spiritual practices that I share with you can help you control your reality, at least to a certain extent. Maybe it's just 5%. You're shaping it. You have 5% control over it. But it's better than other people who don't do anything about it. And 100% of the time, their lives is controlled by someone else, or by a society, or by a corporation, or by a 9-to-5 job. So one way to decipher this spirit realm, this unknown that we don't see, one way to decipher it, because remember, everything is interconnected, everything is interlaced and interconnected. You know, when you start seeing this world, this beyond, it's actually made up of a lot of lines. And these lines, there's like millions of them, and they're like interconnected in such a beautiful way. They don't make any sense. And they have these beautiful colors. And these lines are what connects everything to everything. It's actually similar to this movie called, I'm not sure if some of you have seen it, it's called Interstellar. Towards the end, at the end of the movie, they show that many dimensions, past, future, present, are connected through these fibers or these threads. In reality, it's not like that, but it's close to that. It's just in the spirit realm, they're not organized as how they showed in the movie. They're actually it's like a chaotic mess of these lines, and they're full of color, and it just looks mesmerizing. But if you're able to go and control some of these threads, if you can access them, you can change realities. You can change the things in your life. It sounds like science fiction, but that's how the universe works. That's because the universe has a way of working. It's just that we don't understand it. We don't see it. So everything is connected. Even you watching me right now, at this moment, at this hour, at this minute, at this second, is connected to why, to a reason. And it's also connected to something else in your life. So deciphering numbers can help you decipher the world of the unseen. And numbers we have from 0 to 9. Okay? From 0 to 9. They make up all of the numbers. So 0 represents nothingness, oneness, because oneness in sacred geometry is a circle or a sphere. In 2 dimensions is a circle. In 3 dimensions is a sphere. As a number, it's 0. And it's not a coincidence that the 0 is a circle. It's everything, and it's also nothingness. The 0 is nothingness because it's everything. Okay? And I want to bring to your attention, in the New Age community, they call these angel numbers because there was an author, at some point, a few decades ago, an author wrote a book about numerology and they started calling them angel numbers. And from there on, everyone calls them, in the US, in the New Age community, in the US, they call them angel numbers. You don't have to call them angel numbers. They're not specifically angel numbers. It's just numerology. Numerology have existed since Pythagoras, and Pythagoras learned it from the Egyptians. And the ancient Egyptians, they're from Atlantis. They're Atlanteans. They're the descendants of the Atlanteans. This is knowledge that have existed since the beginning of time, since Atlantis. There's no need for you guys to call it angel numbers. It makes it very weird. It makes it sound religious. It makes it sound like it's a Christian concept, okay? Numerology, this is eternal knowledge, okay? No need to call them angel numbers. And these numbers are also connected to your life path number, which is your birth date. So you take your birth date, you add it all up and reduce it to 1 digit. That's your life path number. But it can also work just for the month or for the year or for the day. For example, if you were born on the 25th of September, September is number 11. So that can already give you a sign about your reincarnation. You were reincarnated in month number 11. So we have 1, right? The day you were born is the 25th. 5 plus 2, that's 7. So you were born on a day represented by number 7. So that can tell you something about your life as well. The same thing for the year as well. If you were born in 1980, for example, so you add all that up, that can also help you understand the year you were born in. But then your life path number, it's an accumulation of the month, the day, and the year all together, and then reduce them to 1 digit. And then it's going to give you the number that governs your reincarnation. Okay? And let me tell you that this is true 100%. My life path number, I'm not going to disclose it because these things are personal, but it is so representative and unbelievably accurate with what I'm doing right now. It's like this cannot be a coincidence. And you will see that your life path number is not a coincidence with how you are in your life. It's not. Okay? So that's also one way to use numerology. So let's go back to from 0 to 1. So if you see 0, 0, 0, it means nothingness, everything. So that's for 0. 1 symbolizes creation, oneness, and alignment. So when you see 111 or 1111. This is very popular in the New Age world. 1111, everyone's seen 1111. That means you're aligned, you're on the right path, you're doing the right thing. Everything is nicely aligned with what you're supposed to do. So that means it's a positive thing. Keep going, keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right path. One is also unity. So from nothingness came that one creation. Okay? That one creation that started everything. You can call it whatever you want, but it's the start. It's the start of everything. So when you see 1 or 111 or 1111, that's what it means. And then we have 2. 2 is what comes after 1. From one thing, now we have 2 things. We have duality. We have the concept of 2 spectrums, 2 different feelings, 2 different emotions, but they're actually the same. This correlates with the Hermetic principle of polarity, which describes that one emotion or one feeling can have 2 extremes, like love and hate, like hot and cold, like high and low. They're actually the same feeling, it's just at different extremes. Love is the same as hate. It's the same emotion with 2 different extremes. The same for hot and cold. It's the same feeling, but with 2 different extremes. So we have polarity, we have duality, we have the separation of the genders. Now we have male and female. We go from oneness, from number 1, where gender doesn't exist. You go to number 2, now you have gender, male or female. You have 2 genders, 2 different feelings, and usually these feelings are opposite, like love and hate, happiness and sorrow, excitement and depression. So this polarity or this duality gives a sense to our life. It makes life either happy or sad, either exciting or depressive. And it applies to everything, even for the weather, sunny days and rainy days. There's always opposites. So that's how life is made up, especially in the physical reality, because the higher you go to higher realms of existence, this polarity starts to disappear. And it goes back to oneness, to number 1, where everything is the same, where even gender doesn't exist. That's why higher divine beings, they don't have a gender. The gender, male or female, applies only to lower beings of existence, by the way. So that's number 2. So if you see number 2 or 222 or a repetition of number 2, it means that you're experiencing some sort of polarity and you need to pay attention to it. It also means that some elements in your life, they need to be perceived from a different perspective, from a different point of view. Maybe you're only seeing one side of the circumstances, one side of the situation. You need to kind of see both sides before you make your judgment or before you make your decision. Next, we move on to number 3. Number 3 comes after number 2 because number 3 is born from the 2. From 2 comes 3. So from number 2, we have polarity, and this polarity, which is male and female, when they come together in union, they give birth to number 3. So number 3 represents creation. It represents the fruit of your labor. It's something when it comes to fruition, that's number 3. It also represents mastery, because when the 2 entities, one here and one here, at their highest points, when they create, they give birth to this mastery. Their mastery manifests in their creation, and their creation is number 3. So number 3 cannot be created unless we have 2 entities. So polarity gives creation to number 3, which is mastery. So if you see number 3 or 333 or repetition of number 3, it means that you're embracing your master self. You need to have creativity in your life. We have Jesus, who accomplished everything in 3 years. He died at age number 33, and also the highest level in Freemasonry is level number 33. So, and 3 plus 3 equals 6. And I'm going to come to number 6 because it's a powerful number. But number 3 is a powerful number that represents mastery and creation. Okay? We move on to number 4. Number 4, and as I'm filming this, I'm seeing on the clock number 4 as well. See, I'm telling you about synchronicities, that nothing is random. That's how it works. I'm talking about number 4 on the clock. There's number, right now it's actually 444. As I said it, as I said 444, it was 444. I'm not joking. I wish I could show it to you. Number 4 represents the 4 directions that we have that make up reality. So we have north, south, east, west. We have also the 4 elements. There's the air, the fire, earth, and water. But there are 5 elements, actually. There's 5 elements, but the 4 elements are very essential for creating the physical reality. So we have the 4 elements that are necessary for the physical reality. We have the 4 directions. And again, this is intertwined with the 4 seasons of nature. So number 4 represents grounding yourself, connecting to earth, connecting to nature, connecting to the elements, and coming back to your senses. When you feel like you're too much in spirit, like too much in the air, number 4 reminds you to come back to earth, to ground yourself. So if you see number 4 or repetition of number 4, it means that you need to kind of focus and concentrate the energy back to yourself, do the work, and connect yourself to the earth elements. There are many times when I need to ground myself and I need to do some work. And the apartments that I find myself into, the number adds up to number 4, or it's apartment number 4. And it's the funny thing is that it's never a coincidence. Even not right now, go to your apartment number, anywhere you are in the world, and add up the digits. Okay, add them up and reduce them to 1 digit, and that number is gonna coincide to what you're going through in your life right now. If it's number 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, and see that it's gonna correlate with what's happening in your life at the moment. It's magic, but magic is just everything being interconnected. So that's for number 4. Number 5 represents individuality, leadership, the 5th element as well, which is the ether or the universe, or Akash, or that thing that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, that unknown that you cannot see. So when you see number 5 or a repetition of number 5, it means that you need to focus on your individuality, on becoming who you are. It's also in tarot, the Hierophant. These numbers, by the way, can be correlated to the major arcanas in tarot. It's something I forgot to mention. So for number 5, it's the Hierophant. He's the wise man. He's the person who has acquired so much knowledge, but the Hierophant also has authority. You see number 5, if it's showing up to you a lot, it means that you're showing to the world who you are, or you need to show the world who you are. You need to be confident. You need to embrace your powers and what makes you the Hierophant. You need to let that out. And you need to show your leadership, your individuality, your power. Number 5 also represents being extroverted and traveling the world and wanting to explore different things, because you're out there. Number 5 makes you want to just go and do what you have to do. Adventure, travel, exploring. Number 5 is represented by the shape of the pentagram, the 5-pointed star. After that, we have number 6. Number 6 is the number that represents perfect balance and harmony, love, and it's also the number of humanity, the number of the physical reality. It's the number that represents the balance between the above and the below. The shape for it is the hexagram, the two triangles that are overlapping each other, one pointing upwards, one pointing downwards. It symbolizes as above, so below, or the divine masculine in balance with the divine feminine. The two triangles, the triangle pointing upward is the divine masculine, the one downwards is divine feminine. So we have the idea of balance, but perfect balance and harmony. It's also love, because the major arcana number 6 in tarot is the lovers. So it's pure love for everything, for life, for creation, for the physical reality. So if you see a repetition of this number, it means that you need to focus on your emotions, on love, on the balance that's happening in your life between two different elements. Divine masculine, divine feminine, the above, the below, some elements that need equilibrium in your life. And no, when you see 666, it doesn't mean it's the number of the beast. That's Christian concept that was written by someone in there, and it's misleading, it makes you fearful, and it makes you become scared of this occult sacred knowledge that is eternal knowledge. It keeps you away from it. So ignore this 666 saying that it's the number of the beast. It's not the number of the beast. It's the number of love, of balance and harmony. Number 6 is a beautiful number, and you need to pay attention to it. After that, we have number 7. Number 7 is the number of the seeker, is the number of the occult. It's the number of the hidden. We have the 7 metals of alchemy, the 7 planets of alchemy. You're going to find that number 7 reverberates in many traditions and cultures around the world. The 7 days of the week. And number 7, if you see a multitude of number 7 or repetition of number 7, it means that you're stepping into the unknown, into the darkness, into the world of the unseen, into the spirit realm, into the occult, into what's hidden. That's why number 7 represents seeking the answers, trying to find the answers of the hidden, the mysteries of the universe. Alchemy is highly connected to number 7 as well, because the metals of alchemy that the alchemists work with are 7 metals. The stages of alchemy that the alchemist has to go through are 7 stages. This is not to be confused with the 3rd phases, or also stages of alchemy, Negredo, Albedo, and Rubedo. Yes, those are 3 phases, but then those are general phases. And in each phase, you have to go through 7 stages of alchemy. And these 7 stages are represented by the 7 planets. So we have Mars, we have Jupiter, we have Venus, we have Mercury, we have Saturn, and then the Sun and the Moon. That's 7 planets right there. Number 7 is the number of the mystics. It's a very mystical, mysterious number. It represents the unknown. Every time you see 7 or 777, know that you're about to step into the unknown. You're gonna find new answers and new mysteries that you didn't know before. And it is something that is connected to the occult or the hidden, okay? Number 8 is the number that comes after 7. If you see number 8 or repetition of number 8, it means that you need to focus your energy on your abundance, on what you have, on the bliss of the universe that's given to you, and all of the positive things that you have in your life, because you're an infinite soul and abundance is always part of your life. You just have to recognize it, okay? And then we have number 9, the final number, the number that represents the end of a cycle. It is the last number after all, so it is the closure of the cycle. And also an interesting fact is that if you add 1 to 8, from 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8, it equals to a number. And if you reduce that number to 1 digit, it equals to number 9. So 9 encompasses all of the numbers from 0 to 8. It has all of them, and that's why it represents the end, the ending of a cycle, the closure, and the end of something is only the beginning of something new. So that's something to keep in mind. So if you see number 9 or repetition of number 9, it means that a cycle is ending and something new is going to start. That means that you've been doing the work and then you're leaving this huge cycle of your life behind. So it is a positive number, because usually when we go through a cycle, we want to end it in order for us to move on to the next stage or the next level of existence. And that's the meaning of these numbers from 0 to 9. The meanings that I just shared with you, they're general meanings of these numbers. It doesn't mean that every time you see these numbers, that's what they're going to mean. But numerology works in mysterious ways. If you see a series of numbers, you have to use your intuition and see what it means for you at that moment, in accordance to what's happening around you, the circumstances that you're going through. What's the situation? Where are you? What are you going through? It's not always, oh, number 7 means this, number 5 means this, number 9 means this, it means it's this and that. Yes, it does work like that, generally speaking, but you have to kind of decipher the messages based on the situations around you. Also use your intuition. So use what I shared with you as a base, as a foundation for the meaning of these numbers, and then build on them through your intuition, through what's happening in your life. And that's how the master carves his own path. The follower, the sheep, just takes something and regurgitates it. The master learns, takes a foundation, and builds her or his own path. They use what they have learned and create their own path with what they have learned, not just regurgitating what they have heard or what they have read somewhere. So I want you guys to use this numerology in the same way for your life. But remember, the universe is built on these codes. The universe is built through geometry, through numbers, and through these elements and shapes that actually don't make sense to us. If everyone would to see, and we actually all see this in our dreams, we just don't remember the dreams. And that's why our dreams don't make any sense, because you are in this unknown plane. You are there. You are in the realm of the spirit. And that's why you see yourself flying and teleporting and going to different realms and different worlds that don't make sense. Sometimes you're in ancient past. Sometimes you're in some worlds you've never seen before. Because that's the spirit realm. That's the spirit realm. That's how it is. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I hope this numerology can help you just a little bit decipher the realm of the unseen and use it to your advantage to manifest the life that you want and build the path that you're going to walk on, your own path, which makes you your own master. Okay? So I love numerology. It's amazing. The same way I love sacred geometry. They are the fabric of the universe. And I hope this information is going to be helpful for you as well. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.